I am your forensic femme fatale. Natalie is your true crime addict connoisseur.
We're just two girls who wonder why Christian Grey stopped at 50 Shades.
There's so many more shades.
There's so many more beautiful shades I mean, seriously. I tried painting my place once with the color gray, and I didn't realize how many colors or shades of gray there are. So come on, many. You could do better.
Hey, chatters. So here's your disclaimer. The following crime chat contains adult content, descriptions of potentially violent scenarios. Your listening discretion is advised.
You have been warned. And so before we get into today's crime chat, what have you done? Tell me. I need to know everything.
Well, I did a work trip. So I was gone for a little bit.
You were gone. You were like where were you?
I was in Qatar. I was in Doha.
Wow. Okay.
So for a little work trip, real quick. And then I got sick when I got back.
Oh no.
Typical, all the travel bugs. It was horrible. But I am back, and the Saturday after I got back, I binge watched Pieces of You.
What was this? Is this the same one we were hooked on all together, where we were kind of like texting back and forth?
Yes.
It's Pieces of You. Yes.
Pieces of You. Yes. Where it was like there was all these like crazy twists and turns and everything. Yeah.
Excellent. It was a great series.
Excellent series. And there was only 8 episodes. So I mean, really, if you didn't have anything to do on a Saturday, you could literally like watch it all day. And so that's what I did.
That's what we did. Yes. Yes. We were going.
Yeah. There was 3 or 4 of us in a group chat, just like, oh, and then this, and then that, and then this. Yep. And that's fun to do too. Like where you have like kind of sort of watch parties or whatever.
Yes. And I was horribly wrong at one point. I'm like, well, who is dad? And what's this and that? And
Pieces of Her.
Pieces of Her. Okay.
Pieces of Her. Yeah. Oh, and then the other thing, only because I just saw, I had to check on my phone. So the only is I watched The Worst Roommate Ever.
Wait, that's a series and it goes over roommates, right?
Yeah,
I watched it too. I watched a couple.
There's like 5. It's not very many, like 4 or 5. But there are crazy stories. Like, and this is like almost at the peak of Craigslist, right? Hey, I'm looking for a roommate. And that just reminds me of the Craigslist killer. And you're just like, but people are unstable.
Yes, they are. You got to watch out. Yeah, you got to be careful, chatters. Like it's not good. I mean, seriously.
No. Well, what about you? So we watched Pieces of Her together.
You have not watched Midnight Pass yet, I'm assuming.
Not yet.
Okay, you got to do that.
I need to. Yeah.
I watched that all in its entirety, and it is really good. It's good for a weekend's binge. It really is. It's a great story. But now I'm hooked on a Netflix. Well, no, not Netflix. Amazon. Discovery of Witches. Have you watched it?
So we have Amazon also, but you have to subscribe to like the Shudder, right?
Yes,
and
you do.
We weren't subscribed, but you could watch 1 episode free. So we watched the first episode, and it was pretty good. Like it was like, okay, I could see this, but I guess only if we end up subscribing.
Girl, it gets good.
Does it? Yeah.
It gets.
And it's like 4 seasons. Something like
There's
that.
3 seasons, and it's once it's done. So it's not like you have to. You can. They have a 7-day free trial, so you can do the free trial, and then you can get it all done in a week. And then
I got to plan for that next weekend. Then
there you go. So subscribe.
I'll binge it next. Yeah, yeah. I'll subscribe to the. I'll be honest. I did that to catch up with The Walking Dead.
I love it.
I did the AMC 7-day free trial to catch up to like where you couldn't see him for free, to catch up to where I was, because I was so behind. But now so part 2 of the last season 11 it comes out with a new episode tonight, but usually I catch up like during the week. I don't always, because I'm old lady and I like to go to bed early. Well, it comes out at 9, and if I watch it at 9, then I have to stay up till 10 to watch The Talking Dead, because I love watching that. So then by the time I know it, it's way too late. So I just mentally know that I'm going to watch it later in the week.
Yeah, I have to catch up on that. But yes, when you get a chance, watch The Discovery of Witches, because it is a cross between Outlander. Have you ever seen Outlander?
Yes.
Okay, so that whole like romance level, not as high. I mean, Outlander is like soft porn, let's face it. So this isn't that bad, but it's
like True Blood. True Blood was a lot that way.
Yes, like True Blood, like it's got that going on, but it also has some Wheel of Time stuff going on in it. So it's a good story, and you could tell they're adding in this romance level, but even without the romance, this is a great story. It's a great thing to binge.
Before we get into your absolutely crazy, amazing story that I know we're going to talk about today, it's a well-known story. So we wanted to try something new, chatters, and I am going to test Natalie on some of her knowledge. Feel free to play along.
Okay. All right. Let's do this.
So if you remember, I got a ton of true crime books at Christmas time, right? Yes. And one of them is the serial killer trivia. It says fascinating.
All right. First of all, you know we have a problem when for Christmas, everybody's getting you serial killer books.
I got serial killer books and a mic and other equipment for the podcast.
I think your family knows you.
So, but it says fascinating facts and disturbing details that will freak the fuck out of you.
Let's do it, girl.
Author is Michelle Kraminski. I take no royalties to the information in this book. Okay. So chatters, feel free to play along. If you have some of the answers, let us know.
Okay.
Who invented the term serial killer?
Oh my God. Wait, there was a Netflix show called Mindhunter that the actual doctor, I don't know his name, but I know the actor. I know the direction you're going.
So we're gonna do a little bit of flashback on a previous podcast because we talked about him a couple episodes ago. People who have committed multiple murders have been around forever, and most of us probably can't remember a time where we haven't heard the term serial killer. But it really didn't come into like our universe until the mid 1970s when FBI criminal profiler Robert Ressler was a lecturer at the police academy in Bramshill, England. Before we used serial killer like as a term to describe multiple murders, the term was mass murderer, making the crime sound far more random than the usual like more calculated intentional serial killings. So to answer the actual question, though it can't be complete without mentioning of Ressler's FBI like notoriety and stuff, his fellow profiler John Douglas co-authored the book Mindhunter.
Yes.
Also a Netflix. But do you remember the name John Douglas?
Yes, because
you mentioned it just a couple episodes.
You mentioned a quote for him that was brilliant.
From the Lipstick Killer.
Yes.
Yeah, because he was the one who actually went by and interviewed the alleged lipstick killer, and he's like, yeah, this guy didn't do it. Yeah. So we have like a little our own little crime chat rewind, right? So Robert Ressler and John Douglas dedicated their professional lives to researching and writing about serial killers. They conducted countless one-on-one interviews with some of the most notorious serial killers of our time, to include Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Charles Manson, and delved into the psychology behind their actual murderous acts. So yes, you got that one.
So wait a minute, did I get it right?
I would think so. I mean, you mentioned the mind. Yes.
All right.
Ding, 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 ding.
Netflix. Thank you, Netflix.
So you'll probably get this one as well. So which country has the most serial killers?
Why would you think? All right. Wait, you're giving me way too much credit right now. Okay. What? Okay. I'm thinking it's not the US. I'm thinking it's probably.
No, it is.
What? I would think it would be like London or it's the US. We're so
it is. So England actually comes into a very close second, but the United States has 3,204 serial killers documented now from 1900 to 2016, while England has only 166. So actually not a very close second. That's quite afar. But number 2 is England.
Do you think immigration has anything to do with that?
Yes.
Okay.
I personally do. Yes.
Yeah. So, like Jack the Ripper came over.
Well, yeah, right. And I also think it has to do with it's so here it says two factors contribute to the numbers. One, law enforcement in the US are skilled at both discovering homicides and linking them to the same killer. And then 2, the country's expansive open record policies facilitate crime solving process. I mean, think about the DNA Dope Project.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, all right, so here's a good one. What's the most common murder method used by serial killers?
Like the method of killing the person itself, like the method of stabbing.
Okay,
am I right?
So stabbing is 3rd. You're close. Okay. So shootings, gunshot, is actually nearly half of the approximate 10,000 recorded serial murders in the U.S. from 1900 to now. The next most common method is strangulation, which I know, like, that's a personal thing, like when you strangle somebody, right? Which has occurred in 22% of serial murders. And then stabbing is a 3rd most frequent, which is around 15%. Other reported methods in order of frequency include bludgeoning, poisoning, axing, drowning, smothering, burning, forced overdosing, and then running over the victim with a vehicle.
Oops. Are you ready for my story, girl?
Yes, I'm so ready.
It's going to be
I've been waiting for 2 weeks.
Yes, you have. And you've been traveling the world, and I cut the page. So it was like 25 pages long, and I cut it down to like 13. There's so much here. Okay. So,
yes,
I'm going to be discussing a story, a famous murder that has been the subject to intense and sometimes bizarre speculation. Just so you know, at least 6 authors that write books about it have claimed that they have solved this case, each offering a different solution and different way, or a different killer, or what exactly happened, because we really don't know. If I had to cover all of those stories and all of those theories, this would be like a 3-4 parter chit chat. We're not going to do that.
Yeah.
So I focused on one person. Today's person of interest is Dr. George Hodel. Have you ever heard of him?
Oh, have I? Oh, yes.
I think well, girl, he was the prime suspect of the unsolved murder of the Black Dahlia case. And crazy. Seriously.
Yes. So that case is almost 100 years old. That was in what, the 30s?
76 years.
76. Okay. Yeah.
It's
but still unsolved. I mean, unless there's some sort of time travel breaking science. I mean, I don't know if we'll ever solve that one.
Honestly, Kat, it's solved.
Okay, well,
let's just put it this way, girl, it's solved. But the problem is that there's so much corruption that it's like John Bonet. It's like, there are things that can't be admitted because there would be too many people going down with the boat. So let's just say that it's solved. I think it is.
Loose lips sink ships.
There you go, girl. There you go. Exactly. So the Black Dahlia case is the gruesome killing of Elizabeth Short, and a lot of people don't. Oh, wait. What was that? Is that your shirt?
Oh yeah, I was getting comfortable. Pew pew, pew, pew. My pew pew shirt.
Okay, so Elizabeth Short, her name is not used enough because everybody is known. She's known for the Black Dahlia murder, but she is a person. Her name. Yeah, her name is Elizabeth, and we're gonna talk about somebody connected to her case. So we've all heard about the Black Dahlia case. It's burned into American history and pop culture, as we know. The crime,
gruesomeness of it alone.
I mean, my God,
it's ingrained in my brain, or ingrained.
Yeah.
The fact that their torso was cut, just everything, and the smile on her face. Yeah.
Kat, I have information that is not widely known. So we're going to get into that later. And I know it's not widely known because I mean, you can find it, but it's not something that, because there's a lot there. So we'll get into that. But
okay.
Okay. So as we know, this crime basically is what nightmares are made out of. I mean, just the vision of that picture of her, of her crime scene, just it's bone chilling.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And it started one of the largest investigations in LAPD. This case has never been solved, and it's been active for 75 years. So yeah, it's authorities at the time when this happened interviewed hundreds of people, hundreds of suspects, locally in the community and not locally in the community, people that were traveling. But they brought that hit list to basically 6 suspects. They did that really early on. So they weren't not doing their work.
Yeah.
I think they had there were a lot of power players there that were preventing really good detectives from solving this case. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
At the top of their list was a name, a man called George Hodel. Now, at this point, chatters, grab your cozy socks, pour yourself a glass of wine, some rosé, and I will do my best to keep this crime chat train on the tracks at this point. Okay, because it's gonna be choo choo.